Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, back for more Warmachine and the Mercenary character solo Orin Midwinter, Rogue Inquisitor, Golden Skin 09092. So the Signarn Inquisition was launched by Vinter Railthorn to overtly to hunt down spellcasters that were not rogue spellcasters, necromancers, suspected witches, but rapidly degenerated into just hunt down anybody who Vinter even thought was conspiring against him, which with his paranoia was everyone. But Midwinter was one of the Inquisitors, and after Vinter's imprisonment during the Lion's Coup and eventual escape, he went on the run himself. Plagued with poor health and sickness, he would eventually get corrupted by the Infernals in exchange for his life. But this is a mercenary character solo version of him, representing his life on the run, living by his wits and evading retribution for the atrocities committed at Vinter's behest. And I was hoping to do a second color at this stage, but I'm not going to be able to, so we're just going to let that dry and move on in a bit. Matte white is next. I'm going to do with the hair. And there's not a lot on Midwinter before his conversion to the Infernals. He was an Inquisitor with Inquisitor. He was aware of Julian Railthorn, though, and was instrumental in getting Magnus to him before Captain Alistair Kane could assassinate him. But again, all part of the Infernals plan. This brush just really isn't too good for this kind of work anymore. Violet Red 09026. Just plugged up, so piece of rod or a paper clip out down the hall. This is just what I happen to have on hand right this second. Let's switch to a somewhat larger brush. I've got one. Yeah. Just gonna go on his robes. And official color scheme is more of a blood red, and red's not too bad. I definitely don't want to go with a blue on him. This should work out pretty good. Fairly straightforward and simple color scheme. And this goes all the way up to his neck. Okay, that's I think I made it. Not sure if that made it better or worse. Definitely helping with lighting up some of the deep shadows that have been problematic for me lately, but just gonna have to keep playing around with the camera till I get effects I want. Move some things around so I have a little more room for the camera and stuff, but not a lot. everything that he's wearing, except for his boots. Well, oh, that's not part of his head, it's part of his robe. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's got the clothing, so yeah, it's gonna be metal, it's gonna be an emblem. Okay, yeah, let that dry and then move on. Okay, so let's see here. Next, Old Bronze 09197. I'm hoping I've got enough of this to last until I can restock. Excuse excuse me, I'm choking my own spit there. Get the armor. And a medallion. The skull insignia and the armor on the purse cloth there. I'm not going to go too deep. Back into his staff. And the front end, let's start around here. He's got these sort of weights. And that over-the-top terror music you're hearing, that you may or may not be hearing from the other room, is just a episode of my favorite show I was watching while I was waiting on my paint to dry here, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Okay. Gonna need to give this a minute before I get the last base coat, but shouldn't have to wait too long. Okay. Dark Elf Skin 09164. You know, I just realized I've unintentionally made him look a bit like Supreme Chancellor Palpatine from Revenge of the Sith. Not intending, didn't set out intending to do that, but it just kind of happened. Actually, and this was way before I started doing videos. I inadvertently wound up painting the mercenary character, so Silas Wilshnor, I think I'm pronouncing that right, the elf caster attachment. I wound up painting him like a pimp. I didn't intend to, but it just kind of turned out that way. More of this down here. And that's base coats. And actually there is one bit of shading I can start on. Maybe two. You know what, I'm just going to wait a minute. So Just let that dry completely and then start shading things. Alright, time to shade. Rainy Gray 09038. Now I'm going to put this on the hair and the skin to give him a ghastly complexion. After all, he is plagued, though not dying thanks to the contract he made with the Infernals. But I gotta be honest, I'm a bit surprised they pulled the Infernals. Seem like the perfect, end game thing, and I'm a bit surprised they pulled that card as soon as they did. I mean, it has been trying to think, 15, 20, close to 15 years, I think, since Warmachine first came out, but you would think they would do a little more world building before something as apocalyptic as that, but oh well. And I think I can do the bronze too, so age Pewter 09196. So I'm probably going to need 3. Yeah, I think I can get away with just 3 rounds of shading here. The flesh, the hair, and the bronze now. Then the robes. Then the dark gray. So Midwinter does have some magic ability, and he will be getting some lighting effects, and that's kind of what he does in game. Okay. Alright. I think I said that in a weird way, but alright, let that dry. Move on once. Move on. Okay. Burgundy wine 09025. So this one's plugged up. So when I list a number, it means it's a Reaper Master Series paint. When I don't, it means it's an Army Painter color. I was swapping out at one point from Reaper to Army Painter because no one carries Reaper locally anymore. But I'm not too satisfied overall with the Army Painter, so I'm going to have to just stick to online for getting my paint moving forward. And I'm going to be switching back as I use up the Army Painter stuff I've already bought. Going over the robe here. Being careful where it gets on the darker color there on the staff. let that dry. Then I can get the gray.
My focusing is getting worse edges as I change my lighting.
Okay, so before I do the last shading, I'm going to do a little bit of other work. Matte white. And using just enough water to thin the paint. Seems like I want a base coat. Too much paint. I'm going to get the eyes. And now, I'm going to thin that out a little bit now. Put up some of the lighting effects on the staff. Including this lens here. And I'm going to come back to that white in a minute, but now I'm going to take Dark Elf Shadow 09163, get the gray, okay, I think that's got it. Now I'm going to prep the front arc. So I'm going to take a flathead and go back into that matte white. So I'm going to be using a fairly bright color for the front arc. I'll need to do this first. I'm going to overextend it deliberately and cut it back later. Being careful where the foot comes close to the edge. Okay. Let that dry. And move on to the minutes. Okay. Matte black. Just a little dot. Duh, this is from the pupils. Oh, come on, I need a little more than that. There we go, I think. And I need a little more of the Burgundy wine, which was 09025. Because right down by the where the skull insignia goes into the armor, I see a spot I missed that I either missed or didn't flow into. So I'll just fix that real quick. It won't interfere with what else I'm doing. Just go. And then Vampire Red. This will be the lighting effect. And for a lighting effect, you'll need to do 2 to 3 parts water to 1 part paint. key on that is for some of the white to show through. Just filling in all the areas that I did in white earlier. Okay. Let all that dry completely. Then I can start highlighting. Okay, time to highlight. Start with golden highlight 09093. Straight paint, no water. Ragged feathered brush, something like that. Rub most of the paint on your paper towel. You're also going to want on hand to remove excess water from your brush and blot out anything that gets a little out of control. And lightly dust the area to be affected, going against any raised or any ridges. Okay, matte white. I'm working from the lowest point on the model to the highest. So generally the skin. And then let's do Dark Elf Highlight 09165. Pretty straightforward, simple color scheme, so maybe 4 or 5 colors, something like that. I think this one might be just about shot. And I'm working on the most readily visible surfaces only. So 2 left. Pale Violet Red 09027. Brush needs to be completely dry for this, so I'm swapping freely since I have several. Your brushes don't last forever, so they will all end up looking like this eventually. Refreshing your paint as needed. That's looking great right there, especially on the back where it's really catching on those wrinkles on the robe. Okay. Heard a weird pop come from one of my lights. I hope it's okay. And Tarnished Brass 09198. And I've just dropped hundreds of frames in the last couple of seconds. Just grown. Okay, that's all the highlighting. Now I'm going to switch back to a flathead brush. Take Sun Yellow 09008. And this is the color I use for Mercenaries. I needed to prep in white because this is a very light color, so this way I just need to do one coat of the yellow for that, and then once that dries, I can get the base touched up. Okay, back in a minute. Still having troubles. Rats. Okay, time to touch up the art. Matte black, and this is just going to be awkward. This camera just will not focus on this while it's on the mat. But this is a self-healing cutting mat put out by Privateer Press with the bases marked to get your arcs the way you want them. So right now I'm just going to take a detail brush. Got Midwinter already centered the way I want him. Just real careful I mark the edges. Okay, let's pull that aside and readjust this. Get my light better. Okay. Just touch that up. Clean out my brush and switch back to a flat head. Keeping the brush moist but not overly wet, and using just enough water to thin the paint. And just carefully backfill. Being careful where his foot comes close to the edge. Alright, let that completely dry, then I can add the clock. We're just about done. Yeah, if I can get this to focus, which Good grief. Alright. Okay, time to flock. Got a Gatorade lid. White glue and water. Try to open it up a little more. There we go. That should be all I need. This does have a bit of old solution in there. That's real easy to pop out just with a pair of tweezers. So I've literally been able to reuse the same 2 or 3 Gatorade lids for a couple of years just from this. So mix it all up. And carefully paint around the feet. And my base material is a mix of flock with a little bit of static grass in there. Give it a dip. Tap off the excess and just brush the excess off the look at the base and take a spare brush that's dry and just push it down away from where I don't want it. Got a bit of a bald spot on the front of the foot there. A little more solution. A little dip. A little push. And that's going to need to set for 20 to 30 minutes before I can seal it. But just about finished. Okay, final step. Scenic cement. This is a Woodland Scenics product, and it's a spray or brush on adhesive. Glass eyedropper, because this stuff will bond to plastic and clog it up quickly. It's going to carefully drip it onto the flock, giving this roughly 20 minutes to sit. This will seal it and keep it on your base. Only thing left to do now is let this dry and hit it with a varnish, which I can't do on camera because aerosol can. And that is it. Orin Midwinter, Rogue Inquisitor from the Mercenaries faction of Warmachine. Got another solo coming up next. Boy, this camera is just really not cooperating today. So see if I can fix the focus thing in the next one. But until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.